This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15% off an order of daring and delicious tea at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. And in the Veil tonight, we all gather round to discuss the likes of Beyond Words, Hotel Barcelona, some more Crimson Desert, but first, Lies of P.
Close your eyes. Come to me, feel alright. Just dance with me all through the night. Turn it out, close to you. I feel good, 'cause I just know feeling of you. Give it to me, baby.
You know those times when you start a game on a whim, just think, oh, I'll have a go at that, I've had that a while. And then, just out of the blue, it just grabs you and doesn't let go. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't happen very often, but that has happened with Lies of P for me.
Nice.
It's just one of them that I've had on my list of games to get to eventually for a long time. I think it came out in 2023, didn't it? And since I think it's on PlayStation Plus now as well. So I didn't even have to put the disc in, which helped. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, oh, I'll fire that up, and it instantly grabbed me. I'd already played the little intro section when it first came out on Game Pass, and thought, yeah, I like this. But this time around, yeah, I cannot stress how much this has just come at the right time and just was exactly what I wanted from a gaming experience. Mm-hmm. I've been addicted to it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a few games that, like this year that you've just latched onto and sort of pile drivered your way through.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a bit more sort of going with what I fancy playing. Yeah. Rather than just, oh, this has come out, I should play this, or, you know, that sort of thing. I'm kind of trying to resist and be a bit more sensible. However, it's been very hard to be sensible whilst playing Lies of P because I've been so addicted to it. And normally, you know, we talk about, well, I certainly say, like, Slay the Spire 2 is a good example of where I've been, like, managing my addictive traits and going, oh, I'll play a little bit of that, but I need to put it down. I think when a game's got a definitive end and it grabs you, it's much harder to do that. So, yeah, I mean, I'm 20 hours into it now, I think.
God, that's
wow. How long is it?
I'm approaching the final boss.
Okay.
So
that's all right.
Yeah.
Didn't know The Rock was in this.
I don't get that.
No, he's now known as the final boss.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Because he
Is that
thinks
a
he's
wrestling
special. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I just haven't put it down. I let my inner gamer demon win last night, and I stayed up way too late playing it.
After midnight?
Way after midnight.
Yeah. You're an early bird as well.
And I still was. So my watch informs me that I got 2 hours and 7 minutes sleep.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I would not be functioning.
So that's why I've got this big coffee that I'm downing. But it's just one of those things. So I've reached the point now, I think it's probably, I don't know, the penultimate boss was the one that was like kicking my ass. And Lewis, you'll probably relate to this, but you know when you're like, no, I can do this. Mm-hmm. I can do this. And I probably just tried a few more times than I should have. So I probably did like 10 attempts at it before just going, oh, I'll come back tomorrow. And I did. So I just respect and then beat it first time.
You respect, what did you do? What do you mean?
Sorry. Yeah, so the boss that I was struggling with, I just sort of my build wasn't right for it. I tried to respec and then I fucked everything up. And then I thought, right, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board. So I respec'd specifically for that boss and did it in one go, which leads quite nicely to the difficulty discussion. Because obviously this game, when it first came out, people were saying, oh, this is balls hard. This is harder than a FromSoft game. And what they have done is when they released the Overture DLC last year, they introduced these new difficulty options as well. So the most friendly option is called Butterfly's Guidance. Mm-hmm. And so that's like the easy mode. And I thought I was playing it on that. So, but when I hit my first stumbling block, and I was like, oh God, I'm actually having to repeat this boss a few times. I then checked, and I had been playing it on normal, or the whole time.
Yeah,
what's that called? I can't remember. Legendary something or other. I can't remember. Puppet Master. No, I don't know.
Legendary Puppet Master.
Something to do with Pinocchio.
That's good.
I don't know. Yes, we should say this is a Souls-like game based on Pinocchio. But yeah, when I realised that, I was like, oh, great. And then I dropped it down to the easy mode. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to experience a game in this style that is still really challenging, even on easy, but it doesn't feel, up until that boss that I told you about that I experienced last night, it didn't feel punishing at all. It was like, I can't just run through it and kill everyone. I have to still think and be very deliberate. But it's just, yeah, I feel like, I can take out most bosses on the first go, which is nice because, otherwise these games could be a massive time sink, can't they? So that's been lovely. And just, I think the addictive part is just that loop of, can I get to the next? They're not called bonfires in this. They're called stargazers. Can I get to the next one and then save and then level up and do all of that stuff that you do in Souls-like games?
What, is it as? I guess I don't know if you've played any Dark Souls yet. After,
no,
you don't. Is it as open world as like an Elden Ring, or is it more like Kazan?
It's way more like Kazan.
Is it?
It's completely linear, really. So you've got a hub, the hotel, and then, but really you could just beat a boss and then walk through to the next bit, and then you're at the next bit. Like, it's all just, there's no open worldness about it at all. It does do that nice From thing of levels looping back on themselves, and then you unlock a shortcut, and you're like, oh wow, that's clever. So it pulls a lot of tricks from FromSoft. It does the whole thing that's in Bloodborne, where if you take damage, you can like bang, 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 try and claw it back. Yeah. Which is really good because it encourages you to be a little bit more aggressive. Obviously, all the menus and stuff look exactly the same as a From Software game as well. Like, all of that is really, really derivative, but it does have its own identity with the Pinocchio thing. The story's much more upfront, and it's as such, like, I'm enjoying the story, where I didn't really do that in Elden Ring. The Elden Ring was just, oh, this is happening. Now I need to go here, and now this is happening. This feels like because it's linear, and because there is an overt story, it's much easier to follow and enjoy. And the visual identity of it is cool as well. So it's set in this sort of steampunky, industrial, sort of Art Deco city. And it's just a bunch of puppets walking around. That there's basically been this puppet frenzy where all the puppets were like, I mean, this is kind of like AI, the thing we're going through at the moment, but all the puppets have taken over and killed most of the humans. And then you're Pinocchio trying to save everyone and stop this happening.
There's Gemini,
and of course there's AI. So again, back to the AI thing. It's called Gemini, but it's spelled the same as Gemini. in this.
Really?
Yeah, and he'll sort of chirp now and again and sort of talk to you like Gemini would, basically. Yeah, very odd. But yeah, I think it's so solid. Like, I don't feel like I'm playing a rip-off or a cheap version of an amazing FromSoft game. I feel like this is on par with them, which is like the highest possible praise. And in some respects, it's better. You know, in terms of that, having difficulty options just makes it so much more approachable. Like, I can now recommend this to both of you because of that, because it's really satisfying, Alex, to feel like you're progressing and not feeling like, oh, I'm shit at this. What's the point? You know, there's that, and there's little things like you mentioned, Kazan, Lewis. It does the same thing where it drops your ergo or your souls outside the boss room.
Pretty
so
good.
You collect them, go and respec, do all that stuff. There's outside of every boss room, there is this little thing that you can interact with, and then you can summon a spectre, who's basically an ally that helps you in the battles as well. Because
where do you in the non FromSoft games, where would you put it? Because obviously we're talking about Kazan, and whereas enjoyed it, it wasn't the best. It was like maybe a 7 or something. I guess you're saying you're addicted to this, but if
I
you
think this
try and
is
take a step, like a more high level view of it, would you say it was better?
Better than Kazan. Way better than Kazan.
That's
Way
taking
better.
your bias.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care whether it's better.
No, you must
Kazan or
care.
not. But it is. I mean, it is better. That Kazan was linear, but also didn't feel like it had as many sort of systems and nice little RPG things to get stuck into. Whereas this has got like systems coming out of every orifice. One of which is called the P organ, which is a lovely name.
Organ,
and that's basically your skill tree, but it really makes a difference as well. You can kind of choose like quite meaningful upgrades and stuff from that, which is good.
Make your P stronger.
Make your P stronger, make your P longer. Yeah.
Sold.
Just what we've always dreamed of. Yeah.
Make your P more viscous.
Then you can tinker with the weapons as well. So obviously you get your hero weapons from, cashing in the ergo that the bosses drop, but then you can mix and match like a hilt and a blade from 2 different weapons, and they'll have different effects, and it's just, there's a lot going on, but it dishes it out really nicely as well. It doesn't throw everything at you. There's not tutorial after tutorial. It's just, here we go, here's this, have a look when you're ready. And I just think it's super approachable for what is notoriously unapproachable as a genre. I think this would be my recommendation as a sort of, to say baby's first Souls-like is a bit insulting to this, because there's, it's not that, but it's also, if anyone was new to the genre or vaguely interested in it, I would recommend giving this a go. Try the default difficulty. If you start struggling with that, just drop it down and enjoy.
Do you think you'll head into the DLC?
Yeah, I think I actually will. It's supposed to be very good, isn't it?
I've
It's
heard
really well
very
reviewed.
good,
Yeah.
The question.
I can't see why not.
The question on everyone's lips. Does his nose grow?
I feel like that might be a bit spoilerish.
Oh, really? So yes.
I'm not saying yes or no, but I'm saying nothing.
It tells you that in the introductory musical number.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's-
I really, sorry.
Is Geppetto in it?
Question? Yes. Geppetto is in it. Giving off big, what was the guy out of Expedition 33? The guy that Andy Serkis played.
Gollum.
Neither of
Chauncey.
Chauncey. Yeah, it reminds me of Chauncey. No, I can't remember his name. But yeah, it sort of gives off those vibes. But yeah, the little. If you're familiar with Pinocchio, and I'm not overly familiar with it, I can't really remember much of the detail, but there's obviously a lot of nods to that as well, which is just a cool little twist. Yeah, I love it. But I will be getting an early night tonight.
Quite right.
I want to play it.
Once I've finished it.
It's one of these ones that I've wanted to play for so long. I think I had, I don't know, was there a demo? You mentioned there was a demo on Game Pass or something.
Yeah.
And I've never ever bothered to play it. I don't know why. It's just one of those ones like, well, I might play it at some point, but more likely to never. Like I'll be there installed. I'll never bother playing it. But you know, you make a compelling argument, and now I really want to play it to see if he falls over and gets his nose stuck in a floorboard.
Yeah, and his pee organ.
Yep.
But yeah, it's very, very rare that I would give a cast iron guarantee that you would love a game. But Lewis, you would love this. Alex, I'm pretty sure you would as well.
I'm literally looking at if I actually have it anywhere because I'm like,
I'm pretty sure it's on PS Plus. It must be. It must be because I definitely didn't put the disc in. Because that would have stopped me playing it. I was like, I can't be asked. But yeah, huge recommend for Lies of P from me.
Very nice.
But how about you guys? Who wants to go next? Let me have a break and get this coffee down me.
Oh wow, I'll go.
You go.
I also want to see how much. What kind of coffee is that?
It's a mocha.
Mocha
Which is
chocolate.
With a so I know whose cup it is. It's got a giant B on it. The letter B, not the insect.
Is a bee an insect? What defines an insect?
6 legs. I think, isn't that? I'm sure there's more to it than just 6
I think
legs.
so. I think you might be right.
Yeah. Something like that.
No,
Because
yeah.
an
So I'm
arachnid has
continuing on with what's it called? Crimson Desert. That's the one. I think last time out, or the time before that, whenever, mentioned about the size of the game, and I was like, I didn't know in terms of the map size. Well, it may have been clickbait. I didn't click on it. It was the headline. It said that it took someone 4 hours to get to the area of the map known as Crimson Desert.
Right.
And that's a lot. That's
What,
a long,
walking?
Just I assume
or on a
walking.
horse?
The picture on the article was on a horse. Now I was doing some of the main missions. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for a wander, and I looked across the horizon, and there are many spires dotted around. I went, I'm going to go there and see what's going on. It took a while. Honestly, it took a while. It didn't take a massive amount of time. It took like 10 minutes or something like that for me to get to the spire. But it looked far closer. I was like, I'll get there. Easy. I'll get there and back in time for tea. Mm-hmm. And I was going, I was like, my God, is there something in this game that makes objects appear closer? Whereas
like a
when you try,
trick.
yeah, like when you try, but when you actually try to get to them, it takes ages. I was honestly shocked, and I got there and I got attacked, and I ran away and I jumped into a load of thorns and died, and I got sent back to the checkpoint start.
So the person who said it. So did it take 4 hours to get from one side of the map to the other, or 4 hours to get from your starting area to the Crimson Desert?
Yeah, like I said, that was just the headline. I didn't click on the article.
Okay.
It might have been totally fabricated, but it plays into my narrative of it took me a long time to get to that spire. Map is big.
Yeah. Is it ethical to ride a horse for 4 hours? You're allowed to do that.
You know what?
I think you give the
it's
dedicated
more
number of breaks.
I think it's more ethical to ride a horse for 4 hours than to do what I did and get almost like blown up. And I was, because you can fly almost. You get like your parasol thing that makes you float. It's like a big cloak in this.
Nice.
Got knocked off the horse and off a cliff. I deployed my cloak as I watched the horse. Plummet to the ground. And
You did a Mario and Yoshi.
what exactly? What? I mean, it was a devastating impact. Like, the horse got back up again, but I was like, wow, if PETA, what do you fucking call them, seen that, they'd be furious. But you know, it's
okay. And could you then re-summon the horse?
yeah, I could re-summon the horse. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I assume it's the same horse. It wasn't just this. Well, you know,
They're just like consumables to you, aren't they?
exactly.
You don't care.
As long as I get to do what I want to do, the horse is expendable. But yeah, it's it's still, I'm still really enjoying it. I still don't think I understand fully how big the game is, but it does feel. I think they've said, Paralabus have said that they admit they've not done the best job in the story, and I can kind of see that everything feels quite slow moving, and there are like I'm in Act 3 or something like that, but everything just feels to be taking a while to get through. That you're sort of just like accumulating your pals. You've all kind of been scattered, dotted around the map, and you're bringing them back to this bit of land that you've been given after a job you've done. But yeah, like, I don't know where it's going to go. Like I've not done any reading into the game. I'm just letting it take me where
It's the
it
best
wants.
way. Is it? What are the sort of RPG elements like? What is it? Do you get that leveling up satisfaction and things like that?
And I think last time I mentioned the fighting mechanics. I've started really fleshing that out now. So where I think I mentioned I'd watched a video of someone doing an RKO, second wrestling reference of this.
Again, no idea what that means either.
What does RKO stand for?
I'm assuming it's just Randy Knockout, but
Randy Knockout.
it could be. That's it.
Alex,
That's certainly what I was in my head.
Sometimes these episode titles
Yeah.
really write themselves.
I'm
Don't they?
assuming because it is just because it's Randy Orton's
I
movie.
think you're right. I
always
think
thought
you're right.
it
You
was
have to
Randy
be right.
Knockout, but yeah.
Randy Knockout cannot be what it means.
But I think it's just because
Lewis was making a serious point. Surely not.
I mean the guy's
Surely.
name is Randy.
Okay, well, there we go. That's amazing.
Okay, it sounds like some sort of old gangster. You know?
Kind of looks like it now, to be fair.
He does. Randy Knockout. I mean, yeah, it has to be what RKO stands for.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've expanded. I've expanded on the skill tree to develop my fist fighting skills. So I can do a clothesline. I can do like a big rugby tackle. I watched again. I've not unlocked this yet, but I watched a video. I think it was just in Reels, going through Reels, and it was like, what did he do to deserve this? And the cliff. Your character goes up and just grabs a guy by the legs. And he just started spinning him round and round and round. But he just kept on doing it down a path.
Brilliant. Like a helicopter.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so it's just to do stuff like that. I've not had a chance to play it in a day or two, but yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with it. Just taking it step by step. But
It's the best way with these.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's quite easy to burn out on an open world game, isn't it?
Yeah.
With
especially when it feels as big as this.
yeah. Do you you mentioned the cloak there? There is actual flying in this as well, isn't there? At some stage.
Yeah, I think there's dragons.
But isn't there like? I think a couple of weeks ago when you first spoke about it, you said there's sort of a. It is medieval, but there's also like some sort of futuristic kind of stuff. Is there like flying contraptions or
Nah,
guns or anything like
that's
that?
it's like weird sci-fi, but I've only because you get a weird bracelet that helps you do these sort of special moves, like shoot a big claw type thing or lifting up heavy objects. That whole sci-fi bit, like you're up in the sky within the first hour or so, and it's quite how do you describe it? Like old school, but at the same time future-ish.
Yeah.
So kind of
Like Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah,
It's
sort of
got
like
all
that. There's
chica stuff, isn't it?
yeah, there's a word that I'm looking for that I can't remember to describe it.
Randy Knockout.
I have just clarified that as indeed.
Is that
That's what it
stands
means.
for, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, they say RKO out of nowhere. Like Randy Knockout out of nowhere sounds horrific.
Yeah. That sounds good. When you mentioned the little bracelet thing, you reminded me something I forgot to mention about Lies of P is in the sort of Sekiro style, you do have this Legion arm where you can like change different, put different abilities on it and stuff, which is a very cool mechanic. So you can have like a Scorpion style, get over here, like puppet string that pulls your enemies towards you,
cool.
or you can upgrade it so you can pull yourself towards them. There's like a gun one that shoots a bomb that blows up when it hits the enemy.
Nice.
There's one that sprays acid. Oh, it's brilliant. Yes, sorry. I just had to mention that just to seal the deal.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you can shoot people from far away is what I'm trying to get at, which is always good.
I'm just one last thing. I've recently met up with another one of these grey cloaks. I think that's what you are. And he's in sort of like an asylum. You have to break him out from this asylum. I hope to see more of him because I'm pretty sure it's something along these lines. If it isn't this, it's very close to this. Call someone cunty chops or something like that. It's something like that. If it's not cunty chops, it's cunty something.
What? That's his name, or that's what he called someone?
He called someone that.
Brilliant.
Cantisaurus.
And is he Scottish as well?
Yes.
Okay. So Cliff, they're all the grey cloaks are Scottish.
See, no, I don't think so. Like most of them appear to be like the ones that do most of the talking, but there are others that I've heard that have a distinctly English accent.
Everybody
I'm not
wants
as,
to
I'm
be
not,
Scottish.
not as keen on them.
Yeah. Everybody. Are you warming to Cliff at all?
Yeah, he just seems like a decent bloke trying to do a hard day's graft, and finding his friends. He just misses his chums.
Relatable.
He's got like I said, he's got a good Scottish accent. I still don't know if it's a Scottish guy that does the voice, but if it's not, they do a good job.
Good on him. Nice. Well, that is the fact that you've warmed up to it slightly that's made me more interested. Because I was a bit unsure when you first spoke about it. I was like, is he going to stick at this? Because it didn't sound like it grabbed you instantly, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say like
settling
I said,
in nicely.
Yeah, I don't think it starts out the best.
Yeah.
It's a pretty ropey first hour. There are a few frustrations within that first hour. I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, there's no, in some games, you'll be led down a path. But it'll sort of guide you towards, like, the camera will pan to where you're meant to go, and you go, right, so I need to go up here and do that. There was none of that during that. So when you go up into the sky for that future bit, it teaches you how to do some moves. And it just, there's one where you've got to, like, hold R1, I think, and, L1 and square to do a precision jump, to jump specifically onto one thing. And it wouldn't let me do it. I was like, how am I supposed to do this? But it's because I wasn't standing close enough to the edge. I was standing pretty close, but not close enough. And there was no prompt to say, like a little hatched area to say, go into here. This is, you're being taught this for the first time. Go into this bit to initiate the jump. You'll be close enough in there. Or there's another bit where it looked like to me I had to like climb up some rocks to get to a plateau. I actually can't remember what I did there. I think it was... What did I have to do? I can't remember. Anyway, it was confusing. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
But it sounds like the kind of perfect game for you, though, Lewis, because, I mean, anytime anything usually tries to like, lead you down a path, you automatically turn and go the other way out. So it's like...
True. Very true. A contrarian's dream. That's cool. I do, yeah, talking about the learning stuff. The other thing I heard is you can learn by just looking at something. Like if you observe a boss doing a particular move on you, you can learn that just from looking at them doing it and stuff in the world. And that's quite cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so in the skill tree, it'll be... You'll see it, but I think it says you need to do it by like actually watching someone do it. So yeah, like a boss. There's been a couple of different moves that I've learned from a boss attacking you like that.
I like that.
Like the RKO.
Like the RKO.
Just like the RKO. Cool. Good. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to further updates on Crimson Desert.
I'm quite surprised I've managed to hold out for this long because
it
does like I've reached a point where I'm waiting for a sale. Like there's no doubt about it. Now.
Yeah.
Like at this stage, I'm not buying it. But
what do you think your biting point would be price
know.
wise?
If I could get it with the amount of vouchers I've got in my Amazon account, probably.
When have you not got vouchers in your Amazon account?
That's true.
Yeah. Well, I think it was 54. I got it for 54.
Yeah.
I think anything under 40 is a bargain for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 40-ish feels 35, 40, I was thinking.
Yeah. Watch this space. But what have you been playing, Alex?
I've very much found myself back in a survivor's hold to an extent. So it's been quite a bit of Deep Rock's Galactic Survivor again, Grind Survivor that talked about, Devil Jam that talked about, Overpowered 2 I think was one, which is very Potato-like, but quite nice to play. Easy platinum if you like a platinum.
I saw you playing that on PlayStation, and I was like, I wonder if that's a good game. Or...
It's a kind of bit in the middle. Like it's not trash, but it's an easy platinum at the same time. So it's So that, but I mean, I have played a couple of bigger ones. Probably the one most fitting with what we've been talking about so far is Hotel Barcelona, which I'd been looking at for a while and had for a while, but I've never quite get round to playing it. So this is the one between Swery and Suda 51. And it's essentially, and I wasn't actually that sure what it was. Like I just thought it was kind of an action game, but it's an action roguelike. Very hack and slash. You are a US Marshal who has been possessed by a mass murderer. Yeah. And you have like loads of conversations between you and the mass murderer, and you are going to this hotel which basically houses criminals. Like so it's not necessarily just a standard hotel, it's this hotel houses criminals, and you're trying to seek out the witch of this hotel. And essentially it's a side scrolling hack and slash type roguelike. And it's not quite room based, but it's like level based to a certain extent, and it's almost got a Slay the Spire type map, but it's not quite. So you find these different doors as you go through the level, and you select which door you want to go through, and above the door it will tell you what bonus you'll get to go through that door. So almost kind of Hades-like to an extent as well. But it's like some will give you these casino cards, and you go into this casino room. Some just gives you like challenges to go and do in the next room to basically give you bonuses for completing the challenges and things like that. But the combat's really quite good, and what finally got me to play the game was they had the Under New Management update recently, and it's kind of like had a little bit of crossover with a few different games, and I can't remember what the other games are, but one of the games is Promise Mascot Agency, and you can basically play as Pinky, and Pinky's the one that is doing... You're basically just fighting as Pinky through this game. So like, okay, I'm in. But
did your because you enjoyed what was it? Romeo is a Dead
Yeah,
Man.
that's what made me kind of give
Right.
this a try. Finally, because I did like
cool.
Romeo as a Dead Man, and it feels
good.
fun for what I've played. I don't think it got a hugely great reception, but I think they have updated it quite a bit since launch. So this is like the newest version of it that I'm playing, and it does feel like it plays. The combat's quite nice. It looks nice. The hotel seems quite interesting. So as you start, you can't. It's usual with these kind of things. You start, you can't really go and venture very far in the base, which is the hotel. But then it starts to open up little bits of it as you kind of die a couple of times, and then you can go into the bar and you can start to then get currencies through the bar, order drinks which give you benefits, and then you get these other coins which give you like boons to start your runs and things like that. And you start it off by like a map on the wall. You go to this map on the wall and you start like the campsite, and then you work your way around it to get like the 4 areas, I guess, of Hades to kind of work through to complete it. But then one of the things I've ended up doing the most is like there's this, you're walking through the bar and there's a pinball table, and you can just play this little pinball game. It's like a classic. You've just got the two bumper buttons or like the pinball table, and you can just keep throwing coins in this pinball table. And I've just been sitting there for I think an hour last night just playing pinball. Like it's the little things in these games that kind of like pull you in. But no, I've quite enjoyed it. I don't think it's a great game, but just for something different, and it is very weird. It's got that whole weirdness thing that these guys are used to doing.
Yeah.
It has that vibe. But yeah, it's fun.
Quite like the art style.
Yeah, it's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, it does look cool. I wonder. I don't think the name has helped with the SEO.
No,
Because if you type in Hotel Barcelona,
you're going to get like a hotels.com
that's all
page,
you're
aren't you?
getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just getting hotels in Barcelona. So yeah.
That's actually not true.
No.
No, you get it's a 7.3 Hotel Barcelona in Colombia.
Okay, yeah.
And you could go there for £33 a night if you wanted
That's
to.
quite reasonable.
That's very reasonable.
Shakira's video.
Yeah, top three hits for me are Hotel Best Front Maritime Barcelona, Hotel Diagonal Zero Barcelona, and Hostel Lamy. £40 a night
Ooh.
in Barcelona. Very reasonable.
Yeah. I'd just
Would
go
you rather
Hotel
go to
Barcelona.
Colombia or Barcelona?
I'd rather go to Barcelona.
Really?
Closer. For how long are we going for?
Week.
A week. Yeah, probably still Barcelona.
Basic bitch.
Think of all that
Weekend
nice Colombian coffee.
I need some of that. I like the sound of that. I like the sound of it.
Yeah, it's good. I'd recommend
Yeah.
it. I think you'd probably quite like it, man. Good kind of game.
Yeah, I can see Lewis not liking it
Yeah.
with the Hades and the hack and slash. They're two of his trigger words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Talking of trigger words, so the other game I've been playing is Beyond Words, and I think. Do you remember the game? What was it we played last year, Ben? Was it Wordplay? It was like the word-based. Balatro-like.
Like Balatro. Yeah.
How I would describe Beyond Words is Scrabalatro.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like so basically.
Poor man's toe.
So it's essentially it's a Balatro version of Scrabble. Like that is ultimately what it is, because you have these Scrabble boards and you get words and you need to make words starting from the middle or like the star point, and then you get different power cards, which are your jokers, which kind of then each, like a 3-letter word is the same as like one of the hands in Balatro. I know I'm really doing this a disservice by comparing everything to Balatro, but I think it's what people understand.
Yep.
So your power cards are your jokers. You then have these different abilities cards which can power up your hands and everything, like your celestial cards and stuff like that. And your hands are not hands, it's your word lengths. But where it's a wee bit different is the level structure. So this isn't just you have a run, you have levels. And the levels are essentially different boards. So it's like you can have just a normal plain board, or you get these different boards that are made up of like random pictures. So it's like pictures of like a
Nice.
train or something, or these things. But how the board is then decorated gives you different abilities on the board. So you can have like a pink square which doubles the multiplier if there's a letter placed on that square, and then things like that. But each board has 9 levels. Or not 9 levels, but you basically get 9. See how you've got your 3 kind of levels per ante and Balatro.
Yeah.
You've essentially got 9 per board, and so it's not like you're starting again each time. Your board is building up through each of these 9 stages, and you've got 9 targets to hit to complete the overall board. But it will give you you'll get like a bronze, silver, and gold trophy as you go through. Like bronze if you do 3, silver if you do 6, and then gold if you get to 9. And then you need to unlock all of the levels all the way across. And it's just,
It looks like crack.
But I think where it is very much like Scrabble is that there's no clues or anything. You just need to
Just make up
make
words.
up words, and based on what you've got, and you need to join them together on the board like you would play in Scrabble. And then if you're putting it next to another letter, the 2 words needs to join up, like so, up and then you get like boss battles as you go through the 9 levels, where it's saying, well, letters are not worth anything in this level, or you only the first 4-letter word will score in this round, so you can't just hit like 4-letter words for each challenge. And you have, I think, 5 or 6. You've got so many discards and so many plays for each round as well, so you can only put like 6 words per round in the same way. But in the shop you can change that in the same way as you can in Balatro. It's very, very like Balatro, but just a completely different premise.
Love it. And it's not the first to do this, as you said, is it? It's like
No, there's been
I
other
feel like
versions of this, but I feel like
these.
this is one of the best I've played in terms of, because there's a lot of variety to it. It's not just trying to go and like play with loads of words. You are trying to then go and do these different levels, and each then level or board gives you a different challenge as well, and you're playing it slightly differently to use the coloured tiles and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of thought that's gone into it, and it's made by 2 kind of industry veterans as well.
Yeah, from the legendary creators of GoldenEye and Time Splitters. It's a very odd way to start the description. And this is out today, right?
Yes.
Day of release is 9th of April, isn't it?
Yes.
So I mean, inject that into my veins right now. That looks brilliant. Lovely, beyond words.
Yes,
Good stuff.
highly recommended.
Good.
First hit I get on Google for that is specialist retailer of photographic books.
There you go.
There we go. SEO is important. I bet if you Google lies of P, there's nothing else but the game. So give your game a shit name. That's the lesson from today.
Yes.
Any other lessons, Lewis?
Well, let's play, as they say in Old English. Yet thonne after quide mis fonje on ladene.
Is that Old English?
Apparently so.
Fucking hell. That's very Old English.
Old.
I guess the outro-
I mean, when I requested it, because now I'm at the point where I'm using Jiminy Cricket to get my my translations. Before, when it was normal languages, not that Old English is that normal language. I could use Google Translate, but
Yeah.
for Elvish,
Well-
for this, I need Gemini to do it for me.
You got to stop endorsing Gemini.
Yeah, okay.
It's bad.
I know. Apologies.
Come on.
I'll just make it up from that one.
Call it
And that it gave me it, and then I asked for it phonetically so I could say it, because it had letters I'd never seen before.
Good.
That's a learning
okay.
tool.
Lost in Translation.
That's the one.
Clue time.
Multiple endings.
Multiple endings. Is it an indie?
Define indie.
Nope.
Not an indie.
Not an indie.
Okay. Not
Release date, do you think? Just go down the usual path. 90s. 2000s.
I reckon if it's, let's say, 2010 or later. Let's do that.
Released in 2010 or later, Lewis?
Yes.
2020 or later.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's relatively recent.
Yes. Okay, let's get a genre out of him. So it could be an RPG.
Could be a Metroidvania.
Or one of those like narrative things.
Adventure. Narrative adventure.
Yeah.
game.
Is it any of them things we've just mentioned?
An RPG, a Metroidvania,
Or a narrative adventure?
a narrative.
An RPG, I appreciate, is a broad term. But yeah, I mean, is it... So when we say RPG, is it sort of a... Is there leveling up in the game?
Yes.
So there is so there is leveling up in the game.
What's an yeah, like a yeah.
Okay.
So it's an RPG then.
Yep.
Well,
I mean, are we saying it's an RPG, not a Metroidvania, and not an actual, like, because we kind of got sidetracked to the RPG.
I think from that, I'm taking it as this an RPG and there's leveling up. I've got something in mind,
Okay,
but I'm not going to say it
just in case you try to
because it
throw
might
us off.
influence his clue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's okay. What is it? Tell me offline.
Don't tell you offline. We'll circle back. Was this developed outside of Japan?
No.
So it's Japanese.
Clue time.
Complex family tree.
Elden Ring. I reckon it's Elden Ring.
Case face.
So
What makes you think? What makes you think it's Elden Ring?
Multiple endings. That was the first game I thought of. And everything we've asked since then
It's fitted.
has fitted. And complex family tree is very Elden Ring. So
We would ask a clue
Yeah.
to see if it's
is it a...
based on fingers.
Yes, do you have to insert your finger in order to join someone else's game? No. Because it might not be, but that's...
That map of the shape of a finger.
Have we all
Beating it.
finished this game?
I don't know. Yes.
Okay. Should we ask if it's FromSoft?
Yeah.
Is it developed by From?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Was it partly written by George R.R. Martin?
Alex, have you finished Elden Ring?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Yes.
It's Elden Ring.
Look at the range.
Unfortunately, it's Shadows of the Erd Tree. Of course, Shadow of the Erd Tree, not Shadows. Yeah, you're right. Elden Ring. It is Elden Ring, of course it is.
Lovely.
But even then, that's still not a lot to go on to get that fast. So well done.
Thanks.
Listen to that genuine applause.
The key is to only sleep 2 hours, and then you're just on it. It's weird, isn't it? Sometimes a game will just pop into your head as soon as you say the first clue, and 9 times out of 10, we're wrong, and we ask questions and we go, okay, it's obviously not that.
Yeah.
But literally, right from when you said multiple endings, I could only think of that.
I did regret picking this one when you were
Liza
talking
P.
about Liza P.
So that was the other thing. I was like, oh, has he chosen this because I'm talking about Liza P as well? Because you know, I know you like to metagame us a little bit sometimes. Good.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes. I did re-look at my top 10. Remember I said it a little while ago? I was considering shuffling around my my games, and I did. Mm-hmm. I moved Elden Ring up to 3.
Up to 3. Remind what's 1 and 2? Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Portal 2?
No, Portal 2's 9th. I actually moved out Tears of the Kingdom and put Breath of the Wild in. So I'm going to have one at a time. So Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring.
And then you will add an Ocarina of Time remake.
Get that in.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, it's disappointing.
Yeah. What would have been your translation?
The translation in Indonesian, Chin Chin Tua, which is obviously Elden Ring.
We never got that.
Chin Chin Tua.
I
Would have
was
been like Doki Doki.
Yeah.
I did want to give it to you in Esperanto, but that was Elden Ringo.
I'd have loved you to do that.
One of these days, I'd love just a really, really easy clue like that. That'd be lovely. A little gimme. Would you have, if we'd have said Elden Ring pre your second clue, would you have pivoted that clue? Do you think? Did you have something else in mind?
No, I don't have anything else in mind.
He'd have consulted
Sometimes
his
I will
notes.
have more clues.
He'd have consulted his notes.
I might have consulted the notes. Yeah, but no, sometimes I do have more clues to hand, but not for this.
God. Playing Liza P is making me maybe want to try Shadow of the Erdtree as well. Now, sort of
There's
got
no
that
difficulty
itch.
options, Ben.
Well, there is. You can be a mage though. That's a difficulty option in itself, isn't it? Just the way of the cheese.
Okay.
Lovely.
It's a massive soundtrack. I don't know if you've ever listened to it. It's a couple of discs. The first is like the regional or town-based songs, and then the second disc, if you want to call it that, is like the bosses.
Yeah. No, I can't say it's ever. It's never one that I fancy listening to, and my only real memory of the soundtrack is that blaringly loud when it first starts.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't really remember any other music in it at all.
No. Yeah. It's. I think the first disc might be good for like background ambient, and then I don't know the second if you want to. I don't know. Pretend that you're fighting a big scary boss. But this isn't a big scary boss song. Well, it is a boss song, but not a scary boss song. But we're going to listen to Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, composed by Yuka Kitamura from Elden Ring. This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15%. Fuck. This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea. Treat yourself to 15% off an order of daring and delicious tea at tasteinvader.co.uk using code TMV. That stands for The Mimic's Veil. And in the Veil tonight, we all gather round the very small table. Damn it!
Can you do me a favour? And, do that again properly. No, but can you just back away from the mic slightly? Just as distorting, it's just clipping a
Is
little
it?
bit.
Am I being too loud?
I love the energy. Love the energy. Keep that up. Sure. Just,
Yep.
Yep.
Just need a clipboard.
This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader.
Perfect.
This episode of The Mimic's Veil is sponsored by Taste Invader Tea.
Why don't you just whisper it? See if that works.
Whisper it.
Yeah, make it sexy.
Brandy.